What's your name?
My name is Jamilka Butler.
Oh, okay. Are you some kin of Dana Butler?
Absolutely. I'm his little sister.
Okay. So we can talk about the real things. Right now, what are you doing for a living right now?
I am a cosmetology instructor at Cross Keys High School.
And is that the same high school that we went to?
Yes, it is.
How does it feel to be teaching at the same high school you graduated from?
It's an honor. It's an absolute honor. I'm able to pour back into a community that is what I consider the forgotten. So not only is it Cross Keys students, but I have about 15 other schools that are the north part of Atlanta that come back into the schools. So not only am I able to instruct, of course, the forgotten population of Hispanics, but it's Black children as well. So that means everything to me. Absolutely.
Okay, so this question, I'm gonna go all the way left with this because I just been led to do this. So you've had two brothers who have been incarcerated from your teenage years up until now.
Yes.
And you've been a part of the support system when both of them have been released. But let me ask you how when you wake up and both your older sibling and your younger sibling are both incarcerated, as an individual, tell me what you went through.
Ooh, whoa.
Yeah, I'm a good interviewer.
Well, I'm gonna sit back on this one. Well, first of all, to be in a home where you and I were very, very close in age, 16 months apart, that's extremely close. And for a very long time, because of the trauma that we endured as children, you and I were very, very, very close. Definitely when, Mama went away and it was just you and I, and we had to go be with Uncle Minor, it's like you went from being my brother to being the person I depended on the most. And when I say hard is an understatement because there was so much division before you were incarcerated that was just, I don't want to say life because it was what it was. But to be raised with somebody that was like your protector and then that no longer exists, I felt alone for a very long period of time. And in that, I know that I just went super hard in school because I felt like I didn't have anybody anymore. Like to have an older sibling, I don't care if they're 1 year older than you, it's like you depend on them more than they will ever know. And when that sibling is removed, you feel lost. Definitely when the older sibling is male.
Yeah.
I've always, when I had my children, I always wanted to have a son first because there's something about having a man first. Well, because we did not have our biological father in the home, you were like my hero. And to have that gone, I don't think anybody could ever really know the damage that it really did to me as a young woman. Now with her, totally different because he and I spent more time together.
Her teeth white as shout.
We spent more time together, more like me being his mama.
Yeah.
So when he left, and definitely when I went and you all were there at the same time, it was just like a euphoria. Like this is not how this is supposed to be. Like how could people be raised in the same environment and then the environment be this?
Yeah.
Not just that, at the time I was still like trying to search and find out who I was as a woman, as a young woman. Having the girls back to back to back, just searching. It's like for so many years, I was searching for these men I had lost in my life. And I think, and I think you really need to know this. Like, I depended more on you than I think you would ever know. When we went to go be with Uncle Minor, you were the only way that I ate. Like, for real. Like, you was the only way that I ate.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
And to have that gone, I was lost for a very long time. Just lost, trying to find that one man that I could kind of depend on to make me understand the value of who I am as a woman.
Switch pace. How many children do you have?
6.
You have 6 children.
6.
And they age from the age range is?
Adasia will be 25, 23, 21, 20. Nicholas is 16. Isaiah is 13.
Okay, so now, the father of 3 of your children was also incarcerated.
Yes.
So, from your experience dealing with it firsthand, because you've had your younger brother, older brother, now the father of 3 of your children incarcerated. If you can you give me a snapshot of how that made you feel, and not just you, but how they were moving and how you had to move with them?
Yes. Not only the father of my children, but my ex-husband. We were married for 17 years. 10 of those years of which he was incarcerated. Well, twice. So the first portion, I just had the first 2 children. They were very young. So because I was so angry when he was initially incarcerated. Like, I know this nigga didn't just leave me to raise these kids, like, by myself. Because that was something that I had always said. I never wanted to raise my children alone. That was the reason for getting married so young. You know, just trying to say, okay, I'm going to do something totally different. My kids will have their dad. The first portion, it wasn't difficult. It was the second time. There was a little bit more like gut-wrenching because I had 4 children. 1 of which was his, 3 of which were other, and then I had Nicholas and Isaiah. So you're talking about Isaiah being 2, and then Adasia them being teenagers. So it's different. When they were 3 and 4, you could kind of, maneuver and, make up for the lost time. But as teenagers, and because he is a good dad to them, it would be different if he was a shitty dad and then they didn't have anything to miss. But because he was a good dad to them, you're talking about children who wouldn't talk to me, children who would blame everything on me. I spent a great deal of time trying to be both parents, trying to make everything better. I never forget one time, Adasia was in middle school. She said, I just want some contacts. I want some contact lenses. I said, okay, Adasia, I'm going to do everything I can to get you the contact lenses. Did somebody's hair. She worked at the optical center or whatever. Whatever. She got the contact. She said to me, oh, you think I want these contact lenses? I wanted the DS. And better yet, I want my daddy.
Oh, my God.
I said, okay. I could try to work on the DS, but baby, I can't.
What's a DS?
A Nintendo DS, like the little game. Oh. Mind you, all this time, you just telling me about these contacts, but it wasn't that. Yeah. It was whatever I could do to make this lady know that I'm just hurt. Yeah. So it didn't matter about the contacts, the DS, the nothing. She wanted her dad. I never forget, before the second time, I would go every 3 months and take all of them to South Carolina, sit there for hours. Just so I knew if I took them to see N1, literally, for the next couple of months, I could have some peace. That's it. And it was just about literally saying, I want them to cultivate a relationship, whether he's here or not, and know that my mama did everything that I could so that they could have a good relationship with him. Because outside of that, it was the attitudes, even the uncle stepping in to take them to the daddy-daughter dance. It was never enough because they wanted their dad.
Okay, so upon everybody's release, and what I can attest to myself is that the difference between going back and staying out is your support system. Some kind of way, even with you having the children that you have and having the career that you have, you've managed to be as supportive as a mother. Why aren't you in a position where you like, I'm not dealing with these individuals? Mind you, you've had people to be shunned by society, people who have done wrong by the community or whatnot, but upon them coming home, I just seen you not drop your little brother off, but take your brother to the He's fresh out of federal prison, and he is helping put Christmas packages together for the juvenile detention. And it was actually at a detention center that he was once held at.
Yes.
And I didn't know how he was getting back and forth to the halfway house. He's like, oh, grandma on the way, grandma on the way. Why are you the way that you are when it comes to that?
Well, I'm gonna say this. When I was in high school, I was everything. I did everything. People had me on this pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. I got pregnant. I had a child. Then I became nothing. I had another child. I was nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
I had another child. I was nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
The same people who had held me at such a high standard when I did not graduate from college when they saw fit,
Mm-hmm.
because I am a college graduate twice.
Mm-hmm.
However, those same people that loved me so much dropped me
Mm-hmm.
when I was not what they considered successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered how that made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
Those same people have had to come now and say, congratulations.
Okay,
Because
then.
I feel like this, what's for me is for me, period.
Yeah.
Whether I'm 25 or now 45.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that, period. God shows us so much grace. How are we not to show other people grace? If it wasn't for the people going before me, opening up doors, making sure that even with my 6 children,
Mm-hmm.
I can still do what I do now, I don't have any room not to be supportive. And I love y'all. I mean, y'all are my brothers. Y'all are basically all I have, you know?
Mm-hmm. If you could say something to a mother and a sister and a daughter of somebody who is close to somebody that has been incarcerated, is about to be incarcerated, or is formerly incarcerated, and they got a bunch of stuff on them, stuff that you didn't even think could be on you, what would you say to that person? Good question. Good question.
No matter how, and it sounds so cliche, no matter how difficult it seems,
Mm-hmm.
it really does get better. It really does. Like, I have had the opportunity to set small goals.
Mm-hmm.
Set those small goals for yourself. It doesn't matter what nobody else got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Set them small goals. Keep achieving something. Every time you think something is not going to be that, and it's going to always look like, this shit ain't going to never come.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on setting them goals. Keep on setting those goals, period. Because, literally, it's going to come.